Gentlemen, you're welcome to the 2025 Westport Tidy Towns AGM. My name is Simon, and for those of you who don't know me, I was the Tidy Towns double agent in the town council offices for about 20 years. And the guy typed the report, which was about 2 inches deep in A4 Word documents at 0.12 text. It was an awful lot of work. You're welcome to, I suppose, Westport's premier voluntary event. And just looking around the room this evening, my heart fills with a sense of nostalgia for my time in Westport and a great fondness. And I recognise many of the Tidy Towns foot soldiers, especially in the front row here, and indeed Tidy Towns heroes, who have marched in unison over the decades from the very early pioneering days, from people like Anne Wilkie. Do you remember Anne Wilkie?
Yeah.
And Victor, right through 3 coveted national Tidy Towns wins to the present day. I also see here in the front row many heroes, including what we would call Tidy Towns chairs emeritus, as they say in the Vatican. So there's quite a number of them here, with national Tidy Towns wins under their belt. One of them, unfortunately, can't make it tonight, but Bridie Moran, and her years of dedicated service. And of course, in 2012, she was coronated with a national Tidy Towns as a national Tidy Towns treasure and hero by Minister Phil Hogan himself, where she got a hero's pin. And even though she's not here tonight, I'm sure she's wearing it. So there are other chairs in the hall I see as well. I see Ethna Larkin, and Lily Cunningham is not here tonight. I see Frank Dolan, Liam Campion, Pam Flanagan, who's not here, and of course the inevitable Elsie Higgins. And I also think of Rona Chambers. And Rona, every time I see her, I think of the annual Tidy Towns submission deadline in May each year. We never had time to do it during the working day, so they used to come to my office in the town council at 6 o'clock, and we'd start for 3 nights in a row and go to 2 or 3 in the morning. And I'd be on the computer, Ethna would be feeding emails with images and text, and Rona would be going down to Dunolas, and she'd come back with fish and chips at 12, and then at 2 o'clock she'd come in with mini Mars bars and jelly beans and crates of Coca-Cola. So every time I see Rona, I get a sugar rush, even to Coca-Cola. But there were great times, you know, those submissions to 2 or 3 in the morning, and 2 or 3 nights in a row. And you know, it's when you go through the mango like that with people trying to get through in deadlines, you make great friendships. And those friendships are very endearing. To this very day, I feel still very much like a family that has grown up over 2 decades. I have other fond memories of outside the Castle Court at 6 in the morning, departing to the National Tidy Towns Awards on the Tidy Towns battle bus. And I remember the year we won the 50th. It was kind of Celtic Tiger times. The government put a lot of money into the big celebration, and they employed Frank, the wedding planner from RTE. And Frank was running out of ideas at this stage, so he decided the whole wedding banquet, it was like the Castle Court on steroids. But, it was all in black. The chairs were black, the tablecloth was black, the napkins were black, the menus were black with white text on them. And the only thing that was white were the 2 big digits of 50, which were about 4 foot high and about 1 foot wide. And essentially, I suppose at 2 in the morning, we robbed them on Frank. And we loaded them onto the battle bus and we brought them back to Westport. But we didn't tell Bridie more until we got to Longford, because she was our moral compass. And I remember arriving at the Octagon, we were parading around above our heads. So they were really, I suppose, some of the fondest memories of our times in Westport. You know, you remember moments like that. And when they're happening as you lift it above your head, they're special moments. And they're things you cherish and enrich and imbue your life as time goes on. So Tidy, it's much more than just an organisation. It's a way of life, and that goes right across the nation. It's lovely to be part of that club. Anyway, back to tonight, where I'd like to acknowledge others who are here and are great supporters of Tidy Towns. I see Father Kenny, who supports our community in so many ways. Father, you're a real pillar of our community, and we appreciate you very much. I see Councillor Peter Flynn, the cycling councillor. I'm sure he's cycled here tonight. A Tidy Towns volunteer himself. And I also see the bold Christy Hyland, also a great supporter, who is currently just on a temporary sabbatical, by the way. He'll be back very, very soon. Is that right, Christy? Yeah, good man. I'd also like to acknowledge Geraldine Horkin, the CEO of the Westport Chamber. Their chair, Dermot Langan, sends his regards to Sydney this evening. And we have apologies from Lily, from Jim Power, and Katrina McCarthy from Edible Landscape. And tonight, on a more solemn note, I would also like to acknowledge the late great Margaret Adams, known as the Baroness,
Dear friend.
who recently crossed the Great Divide. We remember her with great fondness, and also of that endearing twinkle of devilment that you get in her eye, Margaret. I miss her personally very much. I can only say this now tonight, but she was my favourite councillor. Sorry, lads. I'd also like to thank you for coming here tonight. Your presence is a joy, and your goodness and your volunteerism ensure the community of the continuity of Westport's premier and most active voluntary organisation, our Tidy Towns. So without further ado, I'd like to come to the second point of the evening after my introduction, which is the adoption of last year's 2024 AGM minutes. Now, they've already been circulated by Ethna, and there's a copy here for anyone who would like one. So could I have a proposer of last year's minutes, please? Excellent.